Everybody, happy Wednesday. Hope everything's going well for you. Just starting off the morning. Ended up having a late night last night. Got to bed around 4 o'clock. Was finishing off some tax work. Just needed to get done, and then so I didn't want to procrastinate it to the weekend. So just was able to get it done. Got a lot going on this weekend. So for me, luckily, I have the ability to kind of run and just go with it. If I only get like 4 hours of sleep or even less, I can basically go, another dozen hours or so. And you have to understand, you have to know your own energy levels, know what's gonna affect you and how you can go with it. I'll avoid energy drinks. I might get a Diet Coke later, but I'll try to avoid energy drinks if at all possible. And then I don't drink coffee or anything, so. You'll notice, you can't see there, I have tennis shoes. Later I'm going to a farm today, so I want to be able to make sure that I have the right footwear when we take a walk. A lot of people might not know this, but the majority of ginseng that comes out of the United States is actually from here, central Wisconsin. Ginseng is just an amazing root in that it takes about 4 years for it to harvest around here. So, and it's a root. So what you're doing is you're planting it, you're caring for this plot of land. You actually put shade over the soil during the summer months to keep the soil cooler. And in 4 years, that's when you harvest all your hard work. It reminds me very much of like your career, whether you start off in your own business or you decide to, kind of study on your own, whether you're going to college or do some self-study, and you put in all this time. And you're hoping that everything's going to work out in your favor on the back end. That's exactly how I see it works in the ginseng world. You're putting in all this effort, all this work, all this labor, and 4 years later, that's when you start seeing the results. So that'll be an exciting meeting today. And then I come back to the office, follow up on some paperwork, follow up with some clients, some prospective clients, and then we'll call it a day. Hope you're all doing well. Sherman's out. Hey there, everybody. Hope you're having a fantastic day. My 9-month-old has been totally down with Moana, so if you haven't seen the movie, go check it out. Spoiler alert, I'm going to show the analogies between that movie and real life. I think a lot of times we might find ourselves having mentors in our own families or our own relationships when we're young, parents in her case and a grandmother, but just having this pull. So even though the mentors see our specific skills and our role in the world, we might feel a pull towards a specific area and want to be able to go all in for ourselves. And then what we find ourselves is as we try towards our passions, we're going to fail and continue to move forward beyond those failures, moving towards uncharted land that we don't know what's out there, and learning as we go about doing things. And I find for a lot of people, they think they're going to learn by osmosis, and they need to take some time to reflect upon what's going well for them, what truly are their strengths, and where are their weaknesses, and that way they can go all in on themselves. Sherm's out. Hey there, everybody. About to go here into a Maximo Realty, talk with some of the realtors there, the owners, about what they're doing. Meeting up with Carrie Ann, going to be doing top of mind segment here. Also, I find a lot of times people ask me, so what's the value of doing all this stuff? What's the ROI? And what I'd say is, you're asking me about a video that you watched of me. That's the ROI. Hopefully it's valuable. Sherm's out. End of the day vlog. Hope everyone you're doing well. So I had a great conversation just recently with Sue Ginseng. It's one of those long-term agricultural products. It's really unique in that you cultivate it, you care for it, and it's a root that grows, and you don't harvest it in 4 years later. And then once that root's there, then you're distributing the root, but then you might manipulate it in order to manufacture it into, let's say, pills or powders, put it into other teas in order for it to be consumed. And so it was just really cool to be able to see the number one, the history, but then it's really cool to just see the businesses overall here. Agriculture is a big part of our community here in central Wisconsin. A lot of cranberry farmers, potato farmers, dairy farmers, kind of the obvious ones. And so it was really just eye-opening what's going on in your own backyard. Sherm's out. All right, daily vlog here, Wednesday Wisdom. Was able to have some really good meetings, met with Sue Ginseng, was talking to them, and just was reminded of the patience that it takes 4 to 5 years as you build up the root. You plant it,
you cultivate it, you actually put shade over the soil, and you put in all this time and effort. And 4 years later, that's when you harvest the root. And so it's really fascinating because it reminded me a lot of kids when they go to college, reminded me of people when they start their business. You're putting in all this effort, you're making all these different connections, you're learning a ton, and you don't know if it's going to translate to success in your future. You move forward though, like it will translate to success. That's the key. And so we just had a great conversation with them. So thankful for Ben and showing my buddy Carrie Ann and I around. And then was able to, prior to that, was meet at my office, was talking with not only one of my partners just about just overall culture and some of the successes that we're seeing and some of the losses that we're seeing, and from a standpoint of overall community engagement. And then we had a conversation with a vendor came in, was telling us about different things to think about, and he had asked me some questions about LinkedIn and engagement. And so one of the things that I said to him, kind of my highlights. Actually, you know what? I'll just put the video here at the end of the vlog for today. So that way you guys can see it. And then shifted over to, or prior to that, was a meeting with a couple realtors that just went off on their own and wanted to have more of an impact in the community and wanted to have more of a company culture. So that was really cool, really impactful. So hopefully you're all doing well. Sherm's out. Hey there, everybody. Had a great conversation with Randy today over at my office talking about LinkedIn. So here are some of my tips. Number one, update your profile picture. Number two, put in a headline about who you are and have it be a little bit more strategic about what you're all about. Try to avoid a lot of industry jargon. The next thing to have a look at is, are you putting out any articles or any videos? Just as a different way to be able to connect with people that like to consume information in a different format or a different medium. The next thing that I'd have a look at is, what is your overall posting strategy? Do you even have a strategy? I like to use Grapevine 6. They have 30 million articles. You can put in some different keywords, so it's going to bring forward different articles that make sense to you. Of course, read the articles, that way you know what they're talking about. I like to ask questions, get that engagement going, see what people are, what they're thinking about, maybe some different articles. Remember, it's storytelling, not story selling on LinkedIn. It's about connecting with your network, not trying to sell to them. Sherm's out.